Hi everyone, welcome to this session of Microsoft Word. Today we're going to be talking about using tabs. Tabs are used to align texts in your document. They're also used to align columns of text. What texts are just words. The words that you type on a document, those are what we call texts. Okay, now there are 5 different types of tab stops that are available in Microsoft Word. The first one is the left align, where the text flows to the right, and then the centered align, where the text flows, where the text centers on this position as you type, so it centers wherever you're typing. And the right align, your text flows to the left, and then your decimal align, your text aligns on the decimal point when using numbers, so you have to insert numbers for this one. And your bar inserts, your bar align inserts a vertical line at the tab stop. This one mainly uses the ruler. Now you can use tabs under two kind of circumstances. Okay, so you can use a ruler to set your tabs. Okay, this is the easiest one. You can also arrange text with tables. Now let me just show you a practical of what I'm talking about, so you can have a better feel of what it is that I'm talking about. Okay, now let me just open Microsoft Word. You know how to do it by now. You go to all programs, then you find Microsoft Office, and then in there you'll find Microsoft Word. Yeah, okay, so here you are. Let's just start by typing some stuff on it. Motivational letter. Since we are talking about we are doing the motivation. Okay, motivational letter. Okay, so here you are, you've typed it. Firstly, since we're going to be using a ruler as well, you might not see a ruler here, so you need to make sure that it's there, and you can do it under view. Under view there's a show section, and the first one is a ruler. So when you click it, so you just click it and tick it, and then the ruler will appear there for you. Okay, so back to the home tab. Okay, so what we spoke about, in fact we can do it under the page align as well. Okay, so what we spoke about is the left aligned, which is your default one, so it starts by being left aligned. That's how it starts out, right? And then your centered align, as you can see, it's right in the middle, and the text centers here. Okay, so you can see that clearly. And then the other one we spoke about is the left align. These are the 3 common ones that you will come across, so make sure you know how to use those. Okay, so and then the other ones we spoke about is the decimal align. Okay, now you'll find the paragraph section under your page layout. Okay, in this section you have the indent and the spacing. Now if you were to change your indent, for example, let's change the left, let's just increase. You see what happens is that it moves. This is your decimal. If you're to change your spacing, it also moves, so you can control where your texts appear by just changing the numbers that are there. So we can just quickly take it back to where it was. Okay, and the last one we spoke about is using the ruler. Of course, this is the bar, so if I move the ruler here, what happens? Your texts move there. Okay, so that is clear. The last thing we spoke about was using tables. Now to insert a table, okay, maybe you would need a table, so you go to and say insert table, and you see you can select what kind of table you want, what kind of, okay, for now let's just make a 2 by 3. Okay, maybe this is your list of references, names, phone numbers. Okay, so this is perhaps your list of references. Okay, names and phone number. So you see, to type stuff in the table, okay, you click in the column that you want to type in. Okay, we want to type here, and then you just start typing John. To move on to the next column, onto the next column, then you use the tab. So the tab takes you to the next column, and you can type Smith. Okay, now you're at the end of that whole row, so you can use the tab once again, and it will take you to the next row in the first column. So you can type the next name, Gran. Okay, and then tab again, it takes you to the last one. Okay, and then Smith. Okay, So let's say you are here, you are in the last one. What happens is that if you realize there are actually more names you want to add, what you can do is that you can press tab and a new row will be created for you. Okay, so that makes sense. Play around with that and make sure you understand how to do it. Okay, and now the next thing you can do is that you go to design. Under design, you will find different things about the table that you can play around with. Okay, you have this table styles section where you can see if you click it, the style of the table changes. It looks different now. It's all blue. You can play around with all of them. There are actually quite many of them, so you can play around with whichever one you like to make sure. So those are the styles of the table. Okay, back to the original one. And what you also have here is that you can draw a border. Okay, so you select the thickness of your border. You select the border type and then you select the thickness, and then you just come and draw just like that. Okay, let's draw like this. See, a border appeared like that, like that, like that. So now a border appears. Okay, a border appears in the names and phone number, and we drew it ourselves. Okay, now say for instance you realize actually I don't want so many columns and rows in my table. You can edit the table, of course, by going to layout. Okay, so you click on the layout tab. Under the layout tab, you'll find various things about the table, one of which is rows and columns. Okay, under rows and column, you can press this delete button. Okay, and it gives you and gives you a few options. The first one is delete cells. Okay, this will delete the cell that you have selected at the moment. So for example, if I say delete cell, okay, it deleted that cell that I had selected at the moment. And then the next one is delete column. This will delete the whole column that you're dealing with. Okay, so you delete that whole column is gone. And the next one is delete rows. This will delete the whole row that you're dealing with. And then yeah, that row is gone. As you can see, the delete, unfortunately, because we only have one, we can't see that it's actually a row that got deleted, but it's a row. And the delete table will delete the whole thing. So now your table is gone. Okay, let's just quickly insert it again. So we have your basic table, you have your name, you have your phone number, you had John Smith. Okay, now what if you realize I actually want to add an address for him as well? So you go back to layout as well, and then you see you can insert. Maybe you want to insert on the left, on the right, I mean to say. So insert right, and then you can say, okay, this is for my address, and then you can just click there to add his address. Kaye Licha. Okay, okay, address is 2Ds. Okay, and then what you can also do as well is that you can insert let's say now you have typed Grant Pool from Langa, and you realize actually I actually want to insert another row just above Grant Pool. What you can do is that you can press this button, which is insert above, and it inserts above whatever you have selected. So now you have space to type another person. Let's say it's Vusi. Okay, and then what if you wanted to insert below? If you wanted to insert below, then you can just click the insert below. And once again, if you realize that you wanted to, or maybe you wanted to insert their numbers just before the name as well in a column, then you would insert left and then give you a space, and then you can say ID number. Okay, and you can click where you want to enter 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then that's how you could play around with the table. Play around with it some more and make sure you understand how to just manipulate the table, how to insert it and manipulate. Just take some time out and do this practice exercise. Okay, I want you to insert a table. In that table, insert a heading into the table. So the heading, in the heading, we're going to have name, surname, and school, and then choose a unique style for that table, and then add text to the first 3 columns. So after the heading, I want you to add details like name, surname, and school. So there must be three rows that are there. and then right align the text in the heading. So everything in the heading must be right aligned, and then everything else in the whole table must be center aligned. And then replace school with university. That's the last thing. I'll give you a few minutes to do that, and then you can look at the solution. Okay, so let me just do it. So how would you do that? You go insert table. Okay, insert table. So here I have my table, and they said insert heading into the table. Name. So they said name. Those are my headings. Surname and school. Okay, and then choose a unique style for it. I would choose this one. Okay, and the name, Sipho Gumede Langa High. Vusi Olo Kanya High, and then Uzi Musi Kanye Sile. And then okay, so there I've entered some text. Okay, they said now let's right align text in the heading. So I must select the details in my heading, and then go and click the right align. Okay, right align. Now everything is moved to the right, and they said center align everything else. So highlight everything else except the heading, and then click the center align button, and you can see everything is moved to the center. And they said replace column school with university. Okay, so these guys are no longer in school, they're now in university. We must just delete that column. Okay, so it's gone, and then we want to add another one. Okay, and then this one is called university. Okay, and Sipho makes it to UCT, so does they all make it to UCT. Okay, you can see that it's still center aligned. Okay, this has been a session on using tabs. I hope you learned a lot from it. Practice using tabs and just manipulating how how information is shown on your motivational letter. Cheers. I hope you learned something.